WMMS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at noon.
24 years after the tragic events of 9/11, and the nation paused to honor and remember all those we lost. It is our top story. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kirk Montgomery. We begin today with the ceremonies in mid-Michigan. In Lansing, a ceremony was held this morning in Wentworth Park. Lansing officials, along with local first responders, participated in the event honoring those who lost their lives, along with their families and survivors. Flags were placed around the Michigan September 11th Memorial to honor each of those from Michigan who perished that day.
First responders, police officers, paramedics, and everyday citizens that just went in to help and didn't have no regard for what was going on, the building coming down. They knew what was going on, and they sacrificed themselves to save others. And because of their sacrifice, we should never forget.
In Jackson, the annual Spirit of America blood drive is taking place until 6:30 this evening at the America One Credit Union on Ganson Street in Jackson. It's hosted by Versity Blood Center of Michigan. Those who donate can get a special commemorative t-shirt while supplies last. And the entire nation is marking 24 years since the deadly September 11th terror attacks that killed nearly 3,000 people and forever altered the country. At the World Trade Center in New York City, the victims are being read aloud. President Trump is set to deliver remarks at the Pentagon, and memorial events are also being held at the crash site in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Michael George is here for you now with a look at all the ceremonies.
As soon as I exited the building and went underneath that overhang, I took one step towards that window and I got blown about 40 feet in the air.
It's been 24 years since firefighter Bill Spade escaped the rubble of the World Trade Center. He was one of the last men to evacuate the North Tower.
I started getting buried, and I said goodbye to my wife. I said goodbye to my 2 boys, and when I had to say goodbye to my 2-month-old son, John, it was the worst part of the whole day. I said, you'll never know your dad, and that really hurt.
That day, he was also the sole survivor of Staten Island, New York's Elite Rescue 5. In all, 343 of New York's bravest perished.
My brother-in-law, Tommy, had called me, and he said, Bill, they're all gone. And I named every guy I was having breakfast with that morning before the call came in. I named them once, I named them twice, and he said, Bill, they're all gone. It's the worst day of my life.
Ever since, Spade recounts his memories so others will never forget.
The alarms go off, and we're headed out for the Trade Center.
Forgetting is easier now because nearly 122.4 million Americans were not yet born when it happened or were too young to remember.
I could see the smoke coming from that first tower, that North Tower.
So every summer, teachers from across the country gather at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, located on the site where the World Trade Center towers once stood, and watch Spade turn his personal nightmare into a history lesson.
And each time we got it over a little bit more.
Among the audience of educators gathered from 30 states and abroad is Bella Forget.
I was born in 2003, so I don't have any memories of 9/11. I'm a teacher that's going into this kind of blindly.
It's tough to teach terrorism to 3rd graders.
Absolutely. They're just starting to become aware of what's going on in the world and the world around them and how it works. So to bring in that heavy subject matter is definitely difficult.
After graduating college in May, Forget will now introduce 9/11 to her first class of 3rd graders in West Virginia. How did you feel when you heard Bill Spade talk about his experience?
It was one of the most meaningful things I think I've ever heard in my whole life.
What makes talking to teachers distinct?
They're going to pass it on to the younger generation. And the whole time my kids went to school, I'd ask them every year, what were you taught about 9/11 today? And they all said, oh, nothing, just a moment of silence. And it would infuriate me every year that that's the most we can do is have a moment of silence.
We can do so much better than a moment of silence.
Correct. So much better. Always know where you're at.
24 years later, a lesson to fill the silence so that future generations of Americans never forget. For CBS Mornings, Nicole Skenga, New York.
And the FBI and Utah state investigators updated their investigation into the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. They said they have clear images of the suspect arriving on campus, described as a man who appears to be college age. There's also footage from a building stairwell. Investigators also found his weapon in a wooded area near the scene. Andres Gutierrez is here for you now with the latest on the hunt for the shooter.
Investigators in Utah say they have good video footage of the person they suspect killed Charlie Kirk yesterday.
We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual.
Police say they found what they believe to be the murder weapon in a wooded area, a high-powered bolt-action rifle. Law enforcement sources tell CBS News the single shot was likely fired from the roof of the nearby Losee Center. It happened right as Kirk was fielding a question about gun violence.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis.
Kirk was a highly influential conservative activist who was hosting an event at Utah Valley University.
He helped people to have a voice. He helped have discussions. He was probably the reason Trump won.
2 people were briefly detained after the shooting. Investigators say they determined both had nothing to do with the attack. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Orem, Utah.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Let's take a look out on our quad camps because right now it is gorgeous. We do have temperatures that are in the mid-70s and sunshine, and these temperatures will continue to warm up. Across the nation, there's hardly any rain even present. A few showers up towards the Dakotas, Montana, heading up towards Canada. And actually, I measured it out. The closest showers to us are the ones that are over on the East Coast, and those are over 600 miles away. So a lot of blue sky between us and that. We're going to be seeing sunshine today. At most, we just pick up a few pop-up clouds, but otherwise, that's pretty much it. Now, what we're seeing with these temperatures is that they're pretty much warming up on track with what we were expecting. They're all within a degree or two of each other. Those low to mid 70s expected for anyone going outside. Let's talk temperatures today, though, because we could still reach 80 degrees. That's going to be with sunny to mostly sunny skies. This morning period definitely looking like it has that least chance of cloud cover building in. Now, as we head towards the afternoon, could see a few, but that's not going to stop our UV index from being a 6, so your sunburn time just about 30 minutes. Now, what we're going to be seeing with tonight's forecast is that temperatures cool back down, sitting in those low 50s. Going to be very similar to the last few mornings. Mostly clear skies, good for stargazing. Then when the sun comes up tomorrow, we just rinse and repeat. Highs in the low 80s. Going to be seeing a mix of some sun and some clouds. Should be seeing that southwesterly wind too, around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, we do have that chance for some rain. Looking like it's a slim chance, but it's still out there. Friday looking dry. Saturday it moves in from the northwest, and that's going to be with a chance for some lightning. Really, the only reason I'm concerned about it is if you head out to Tailgate. Could have some rumbles of thunder popping up here as we head towards the afternoon and evening, but some spots could also very likely stay dry. If that happens, you aren't going to see rain again until we get possibly to the end of next week. I'm going to let this run because it keeps the rain mostly to our west. This is Wednesday next week. Now Thursday, even as we go towards Friday and Saturday, it's just avoiding us. This is an exceptionally dry period of weather for our region. We're seeing soggier conditions towards our west, but the overall pattern is warm. We are well above average with our temperatures. We're going to keep that going here through at least the 21st. That's a 10-day stretch where we are going to have toasty temperatures that make it feel like summer again. And since this air is coming up from the southwest, we could feasibly increase our humidity just a little bit. Don't be surprised if you feel it next week. Could be seeing those temperatures actually climb more towards the mid-80s. And one other thing I want to point out here, we're looking at the traffic tracker. If you happen to be heading outside, that sunshine very bright, so grab some sunglasses. Already seeing some slowdowns. Lansing, if you're over on 96 headed towards Grand Rapids, also seeing some slowdowns down there near Angola. These just pop up throughout the day, so be aware if you do happen to be heading out on the roads, maybe taking advantage of some of the nicer weather, or if you're just heading back from work, you could run into some slowdowns. Today's one of those days where I've been looking at it and it's just been a little bit more colorful than what I usually like to see.
Right.
We don't want to have any crashes out there,
No,
so take
not
it
at all.
easy. The weather shouldn't interrupt it. It's not like it's raining, so pay attention to people.
What a great forecast, though.
I know, right?
Copy and paste. Copy and paste.
It really is. It's been so easy.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy with
And
that.
we're for it. We're enjoying it. Thank you so much, Katie.